Hi, today I did my presentation on deaf clubs. I first wanted to start off with talking about what they are. So deaf clubs were places where people could gather, chat, and socialize on a daily basis. But they were much more than that. They were places where deaf people could come together as a community. When were deaf clubs popular? Deaf clubs began as early as 1910. They became increasingly popular in the 1940s and 1950s due to the increase of deaf people working blue-collar jobs such as printing or manufacturing. Deaf people working these jobs were constantly surrounded by hearing people and felt like they needed their own place where they could go, hang out as a community, and blow off some steam. Where were they located? Deaf clubs originally started off were places where people could just rent and come together as a small group. But they became increasingly popular around the 1950s, and members of the deaf community started spreading the word, and they could start charging admissions for all of the members coming into the rented areas. They could then take that money to actually buy the rented area and have a permanent deaf club. Where were deaf clubs located? Deaf clubs were located in all of the major cities in the United States. Specifically in Ohio, deaf clubs were located in each city such as Akron, Columbus, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Dayton, and Warren. There was a big deaf club in Akron due to all of the deaf workers working in the rubber and tire making industry. Some examples of performances at the deaf clubs were deaf comedians, plays, lectures, film screenings, and even holiday parties. Were deaf clubs segregated? Yes, deaf clubs were segregated by race and ethnicity. For example, there was a black club and a white club, and they were separate. The deaf clubs were also separated by religious groups, like the Hebrew Association of the Deaf, which had two clubs. There's a picture of them on the left. The decline or disappearance of deaf clubs today. Many people blame the decline on modern technology. Today, people can simply send a text or use FaceTime instead of having to drive to the deaf clubs to communicate. Thank you.